Hey folks, it's Amy McDonald here. Welcome back to the Business of Yoga Speaker Series. I really hope you're enjoying everything so far. And in fact, if you are, I'd love to hear from you. So send me an email or DM me on Insta at Amy Yoga Biz Coach. I want to know, what are you getting, what's useful, who are you loving, and who might you like for next time? But for right now, I'm very excited to introduce my guest of the day, Royal Brown, who is currently in Texas, Dallas, the first airport I ever discovered that had a yoga room, I think, Dallas, right?
Yeah, and Chicago.
Yeah, I love that. So folks, Royal Brown is the founder of Yes Yogis. This is going to be a great conversation. Yes Yogis is a networking community that facilitates jobs and networking opportunities for our industry. So I'm really excited to talk about this. But before we get to talking about Yes Yogis, I want to know a little bit more about you. Tell us about you and yoga. How did you come to this amazing thing called yoga?
Very funny story. Out of college, I used to work at this company, and they had like forced company workouts, and I never went. I hated to go, and I would always tell them, like, I don't like to run, I don't like to lift weights, I like to do yoga. And so I would sneak off, and I started doing like Bikram, and Bikram was so intense. And I was like, I just really want just a simple, yoga class.
Uh-huh.
And so this was many, many years ago. But that's how I got into yoga, because I was not into the lifting weights and the forced 5Ks and half marathons.
I find it very curious that you didn't want to work out and so you went to Bikram, because in my experience, that's kind of a fairly intense yoga modality.
Yeah, and I immediately went to Vinyasa.
But even then, it's not like you went to Shivananda or restorative. You still stayed fairly rigorous.
Yeah. So that's how I got into yoga. Yeah, it's been about 7-8 years now.
Yeah, wow. Skiving off from workplace workouts got you into yoga. I'll take it. Why not?
Yeah, and then I used to live in New York City, and I did my yoga teacher training with Yoga Works in New York City.
Great.
Yeah.
Nice one. So then talk us through how Yes Yogis, you went from being I'm trying to avoid lifting weights at work to a Bikrami to a Vinyasa person, then yoga teacher training. What inspired you to create your business?
So when I graduated from teacher training, you go to look for jobs, and people always tell you maybe teach for free, or if you're going to teach, you're a new instructor, so maybe just charge like $50. And so that kind of stung a little bit, because you're like, I just did 3 months of training, I just spent $4,000, and now you're telling me to do what I want to do for free.
Yeah.
And so I just started to look for teaching opportunities. And I got frustrated because there wasn't one place to find teaching opportunities. You have to Google studios, you have to maybe go on Indeed, maybe check Crate, so many different places. Yeah. And I just became a little frustrated, because I'm like, the yoga industry, we take care of our people, and I don't think people outside of the industry understand that message the way that we do. And so I'm like, if I'm frustrated, other people have to be frustrated as well. Yeah. So if I can just create one place, one community where people just want to look for teaching roles at studios or gyms or host teaching events in a park, they can just come to one place and figure that out for themselves.
I think it's such an admirable quality. I've never been this person. If we go total oversharing now, people might opt out of the series because of this, but it's never actually been my natural pattern to identify a problem and then go make a solution for everybody. Maybe I have high school or something, but I really think it's an admirable quality when someone says, there's something here that reaches across everybody, and I'm going to be the one to go make a solution. I think that's great.
Thank you.
And so how long has Yes Yogis been in existence?
So it's For about 4 months now, we've been live, but it took
Awesome.
about a year to build.
Yeah.
So we're brand new. The site is free, yesyogis.com. And right now, there are yoga studios in the US who are posting teaching opportunities.
Great.
And our goal eventually is to be worldwide, get those opportunities that are in other countries as well.
Awesome. I love it. And so for people that are watching that are studio owners or looking for, what about people who might just teach for themselves, be freelancers, but looking for fill-ins or covers or something? Is that something that can be covered?
Yes. Yoga studios do post their sublist. And we want other instructors to get on the site to post opportunities to co-host. Like they're looking for a co-host for a retreat or an event as well.
That's cool.
Yeah.
One of the things that I have, work on with my one-to-one clients is for those teachers that are looking to get more of a regional or maybe even an international presence is offering workshops in other people's studios. But there's always this thing of, well, I don't know anybody, and do I just reach out cold? And then I've got other clients who are looking to make some additional income by hosting people and doing a profit share. And how do you know who to choose and who's going to be good to work with and who's interested in that sort of thing? So I imagine that Yes Yogis is a sort of a brokerage platform for that opportunity as well. Yeah,
definitely down the line. Yeah.
So how do we use it? Tell us about, like, what does it, I'm watching this and I go, really? I'm going to get myself into this. What's the process from a user perspective?
So you go on the site and you click sign up. So if you're a yoga instructor, it's going to ask you, are you a job seeker?
Okay.
If you're a yoga studio, there's going to be an option for a job poster.
Got it.
So if, as a yoga instructor, I would get on as a job seeker.
Yep.
And it's going to ask you very simple questions, your first, last name, your email address, and just some history. And it's going to ask you to give yourself a title. And then it's going to ask you to do a short bio. Yep. And it's going to ask you the type of training you have.
Cool.
And that's going to serve as your profile. So as a yoga studio, I would go in and post as a job poster.
Yep.
And I would do like a regular job post. And then anyone who applies to that job post, I get to view their page, and that serves as like their resume.
Got it.
So yoga studios don't have the option to kind of cherry pick. They can only see people who are interested in them first.
It's kind of like Tinder. You only know who's already said, yeah, I'm interested.
You got to match first. You have to match. And yoga instructors can post videos of themselves teaching.
Oh, that's cool.
If they would. Yeah, so, like Instagram TV is pretty popular right now. And a lot of instructors get on Instagram TV just to show like how to do a simple pose. Yeah. They want their viewers to see that. And when you're applying for a job, it kind of cuts out that initial like phone interview for a yoga studio, because if they see your profile and they're like, I like the way this girl just explained downward facing dog, let's bring her in for an interview like right away,
Yeah.
It cuts out that initial, let me email, can I have your phone number, can we talk over the phone, then can you come to the yoga studio,
I like it.
So yeah, and it's that faster hiring process, because again, coming out of teacher training, you want to teach coming directly out of teacher training, and you don't want that pressure. And yeah.
And so if I'm looking for a job, can I see the other teachers that are on the platform, or only the jobs?
If you're a teacher?
Yes.
That's going to be in our phase 2. You'll be able to connect with other yoga instructors. Yes.
Because I like the idea of that. I'm thinking, if I'm brand new, that's a question that I often get is, how do you even write a yoga resume, or what do you put on it? Because I'm just brand new. I imagine being able to look at other people's profiles would be a beautiful opportunity to see, well, what do more seasoned teachers, what do they say about themselves? And what's a good way to describe what I do and how I'm different to other people? Yeah.
That's going to be in our second phase, because we want people to opt in to share that personal information with others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the networking part.
Yes, that's the networking part. We're going to release that in October of this year.
Coming up. So we need to get in on it, and then we can be like, we were phase 1 members. I like it. And so it sounds as though if for folks who aren't even necessarily looking for jobs yet, there would still be benefit in signing up, because then we are part of that. There will be that opportunity to network and connect with people down the line.
And right now, actually in May, we're going to release like a trend report of just trends that have impacted the yoga industry specifically, and how yoga instructors have been responding to those trends. And so that's kind of like more of a networking in the community and collaboration part of it. A team and I have been doing research this past year, so it's finally been its 1-year mark. And yeah, it's exciting. I'll have to send you the report so you can check it out. It's global. And the trends are...
Yeah, give us some highlights. This is like my nerd sirens are just going crazy right now. Tell me more.
Yeah. Okay. So the top 3 trends that have been impacting the industry worldwide. One is self-care. So now more than ever, people, even outside of the yoga industry, are so interested in self-care, right? Because work stress, work-life balance, that's impacting everyone, but mostly it's impacting yoga instructors. 2, holistic health. People more now than ever are Googling natural ways to cure like simple symptoms, right? Instead of going to the doctors. People want CBD oil, people want to meditate, people want to do yoga before bed. All of those self-care and holistic treatments trigger back to the yoga industry. And last is just instructor competition between each other. There's so much competition in the yoga industry right now because of these trends. And one thing that's really impacting all of us is the need to be successful. And that word successful is different for everyone. So everyone's fighting their way to success. Yeah. So those are the 3 biggest trends. And then, of course, you would ask, okay, so how are yoga instructors specifically responding to this? One, people and instructors are creating their own content around things, right? So what do I mean by that? I can create content about how to do yoga in the workplace, right? You can create content around what is the business of yoga, right? Someone else can create content around how to digitize yoga, right? So many different instructors are responding to these trends and creating their own content. 2, they're diversifying their offering. They don't just want to teach yoga, they want to teach yoga and meditation. They want to teach yoga and use CBD oil in their practice. They want to teach yoga and incorporate hip hop music. They want to teach yoga and incorporate, crystals and sound bowls. Yeah. So, And then last, people get personal. You got to connect with your audience. And so with all of the competition that's happening, you got to stand out somehow. And the number 1 trend is to get personal with your audience.
I just love that. I'm so grateful that is a trend, because that's what I say to people all the time. If you want to stand out and have like market share, be yourself. Like do you, and that's the piece that makes you different from you are inherently different already. So just like celebrate that.
That's great advice. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I like that. Supported by your data. That makes me feel Well, a little bit smart, actually. That's good news on a Monday morning. So how did you said you've done like this is a year's worth of data. How do you identify these trends? What's your process for doing this research?
So one, we did a survey.
Yep.
Two, I did just interviews. I would just email people and ask them for 20 minutes of their time.
Wow.
And three, we would pick a trend. So at one point we did only instructors who have an online presence.
Okay.
And an online presence was either YouTube or a personal website.
Yep.
So we took 200 yoga instructors and went through each website and kind of deciphered how they were either diversifying their audience or getting personal and what they were offering, and it's funny, we even went down to the point of how many testimonials people had on their website.
Wow.
Yeah. And so we just kept taking data and data and data and data. And then we would reach out to like news companies in the US, like the Wall Street Journal, or we reached out to one here in Texas, and we would say like, hey, we're noticing a trend in the yoga industry that's happening right here. And they would say, yeah, we noticed a trend that's happening across the world with like self-care and holistic health.
Yep.
And we're like, that makes so much sense how it's impacting the yoga market.
I've got to ask you, like, is this part of a PhD? This is a lot of work. Is this just a passion project? What?
That's what I would call it. I got so curious just after getting my teacher training, and I didn't understand the stereotype of people outside of the yoga industry saying, oh, that's not like a real job, or you can't make a lot of money doing yoga. And I would be like, that's not true. And so I went on this like witch hunt to be like, yes, you can. And people are happy. And just because successful doesn't mean $500 million a year, people are successful in other ways. Right? And
yes.
so, and as a yoga industry, the people who are teaching yoga, we get to define what that is, not anyone else. So,
Jai, yes, love it. And thanks for just being like, I think I've met my yoga nerd match. Look at that. This is next time I'm in Texas, we're going out for chai. My shout. This is so cool. So how big is this team how many of you are there behind the scenes?
It's only 4 of us, but big
that's
team.
A big team it is a big team for, my business has 4 people max at any one time, and I feel like I've got an empire. Wow. So cool. Yeah. All right. So what's your vision for Yes Yogis then? Because you're not just tinkering around the edges. You're really going for it here.
I'm really going for it. My vision is I want to be able I hope that it becomes a place for yoga instructors to say, I want to make, let's say, $100,000 in 2019.
Yep.
They come on the site and they're like, I can teach at 5 yoga studios twice a week and make X amount of money. I can collaborate with Amy McDonald on 3 yoga events and make X amount of money. I can host a yoga retreat and make X amount of money. And whatever comes after that is, extra capital for myself. And it sounds like a lot, but I hope instructors are able to do that and it not be such like a burden or a hassle. It's like I almost want to put the opportunities in front of their face Because when we surveyed instructors and asked them, like what's the top 3 things you're struggling with? Number 2 was marketing.
Yeah.
And people would say like, I don't have time to put, like, it would take me 8 hours a day to create content for my blog, my social media, like, and then you almost become a business instead of a yoga instructor, right? And we go to teacher training to become yoga instructors. And so if we can lift some of those hurdles off of instructors and say, here's opportunities right here, right here, right here, and right here. You don't have to market yourself so heavily on Instagram or Facebook or through a blog post. We can help you identify where the opportunities are to be able to make money.
I really love the way that, like, the theme here of emphasizing that in becoming a yoga teacher, this is a profession and it's worthy of that level of recognition, and it's worthy of that level of strategic consideration, and approaching it, I don't want to say like in a corporate way, but kind of in a corporate, like, why wouldn't a valuable profession have this type of service like any other? If I'm an engineer, I'm going to have that sort of thing and expect it. I think this is just really powerful, that it's raising up the perception and the belief that, no, this is a real career path. Actually, it's not just something that now that I broke up with my boyfriend, I went to Costa Rica, I came back a yoga teacher, and now I'm going to struggle and probably still wait tables because everybody knows you can't make money as a yoga teacher. Yeah,
that's exactly it.
So how does it work for you? Like, how do you make money out of this thing?
I know. So I'm not teaching full time just yet, but I do private sessions here in Dallas.
Yeah, but so how does Yes Yogi make money for you? Like, surely we have to pay a subscription or something. Is this phase 2? Tell me that this is not all about love.
So right now it is. Right now it's a passion project.
Okay.
I know.
We need to send you some Dana, honey. What's going on?
I know. Right now it's a passion project. I'm hoping in stage 2 it can become a paid service. So yeah, but yes. I also, because when you're like so excited about something, you like want to give it away for free. And so I'm almost just, everyone who's in phase 1 can have like Yes Yogis free for a lifetime because you were here in phase 1.
I'm getting itchy now. Can you see it? You just said at the start of our interview, when you graduate as a yoga instructor, don't teach for free.
I know. So I'm hoping phase 2, when we launch phase 2, we're going to do focus groups, and we're going to show them the beta, and we're going to ask, how much would you pay for this service?
Yeah, cool.
And so, yeah, very transparent. But we're going to do focus groups, and even if I can do like virtual focus groups worldwide, we might try to do that.
Cool.
But I want to show people phase 2, how it works, and just simply ask, what's your price point for this if you would pay for it?
I love it. And I also think there is value in this. And so in terms of like an ethical prana exchange, yes, of course, there should be a fee to use. Like, I think that's just, this doesn't all happen for free. But I also, I imagine that there would be value for people who teach, there's a couple of things, people who either teach in small towns, or I was talking to someone the other day and she lives in a mining town and she's the only yoga teacher, like to just have a network to tap into. I think that has value, but also for teachers who I hear from who have tried locally to establish meetups or Facebook groups to network locally, and they find that unfortunately that poverty consciousness limits people's appetite to engage locally. Oh, you might steal my students if I meet with you for tea, like this sort of BS. It would also help for people who are really starving for community to be able to, this is not about competition, this is about collaboration and sharing and just having peers. I think that would be incredibly valuable too.
Yeah, amen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So folks, get in on it now. Even just to be part of the focus group would be incredibly rewarding, I imagine.
Yeah.
I would nerd out on that. Super
Thank you.
cool.
Thank you.
I'm really grateful for people who just prepared to do a little bit extra to help everybody. It's such a powerful reminder about getting us out of this rhetoric of, oh, there's so many teachers and it's very cutthroat and there's nothing for me. Well, maybe we actually, call me an idealist, but maybe we can actually all get together because we just freaking love yoga a whole lot and we want to help people. Like that's something to unite about.
Yeah. And it's tough trying to recreate the wheel, you know? There's over 70,000 yoga instructors. So you can imagine how many people are doing the same thing. And it's, let's just collaborate on a big idea,
Totally. That's what I say about my Facebook group. Like, I've got to write terms and conditions. Why don't you just post up that you're looking for some and could people share them? Because if someone's in Dallas, it's not competition with me to say, hey, here's my intake form, borrow it, morph it, use it for yourself. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I can see a resources section. Exciting.
Yeah, there you go. Add a resource section to your page.
I was thinking about yours. No, I'm not allowed to tell you to give us anything else for free. So we can go to yesyogis.com to sign up.
Yes.
Can
you can
like,
follow us.
Yeah, do Instagram. That. We want to stalk you on Instagram. How can we do that? Where are you?
I'm on Instagram at YesYogis, Twitter, YesYogis, Facebook, YesYogis, LinkedIn, YesYogis.
She's everywhere.
So we're everywhere. Come check us out.
Well, not even. Like, come join us, it sounds like. What a beautiful open
come
invitation.
Join us.
So ultimately the big picture is what if you like if you what's the thing on the horizon? What's your dharma here? What's the ultimate kind of hope that you have for this?
The hope is exactly the less competition, because it's, I don't know, like it's tough, coming out of teacher training, you see, or just even being a new instructor less than 5 years, you see what are they called, like influencers, right? Yes. You see yoga superstars, and you kind of get intimidated. Yeah. And you almost feel like you need to follow suit. Yeah. And just I think my overall big picture is just less of the competition, more of the collaboration, and the mindset around, me being a yoga instructor is just as respectable as someone who works in corporate America or, has a regular 9 to 5,
real job. Yeah. I love that.
It's just, I want more respect. That's all.
You're claiming it for all of us. Well, I'm very grateful for that. But also I also think that it's not just newbies. There are a whole bunch of people who they've been teaching for 15 or 20 years and they think that, that celebrity stuff has passed them by. This could also help re-motivate or re-inspire people if people are on the edge of burnout.
That's true. When I speak to instructors who have been in the industry longer, they look at people who are joining now and say, I don't know what's going on right now, Yeah. They're like, I don't know, celebrities and all of this kind of stuff. So you're right, let's bring others back into the same mindset as well.
Oh, Anahata explosion going on right here. Love it. Royal Brown, thank you for being such a great guest and inspiring us. Folks, Yes Yogis everywhere. Go get on it, sign up, and watch as this unfolds. I can't wait to see more of this reporting, and I'm excited about your phase 2.
Thank you. I will send it to you when it comes out next week.
Yay! Thank you.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.